Welcome to FMtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. Hope you all are having a lovely December 4th. Starting up the one of the more exciting months of the year where a lot of things are happening. Maybe not necessarily in the business world, but with holidays and all that jazz. So, today we are lucky to have HOnza and Vince on for benchmarking layouts in FileMaker. I'm very excited to hear what they have to say today. It's guaranteed to be a fascinating topic. Those two always are. If you'd like to support the channel, feel free to go give one of these subscriptions a look-see. It's 100 plus hours of video content. It's really fantastic. If you'd like to support either one of the people here, Beeswax is a fantastic consulting company, and they also have FM Inspector for spree. So
Inspector Pro. That's
Inspector
right.
Pro. I'm bad at names. In case you're wondering, it's universal. It's not just you. It's me,
No
FileMaker.
problem.
There we
Yep.
go. So. Feel free to go give this a download. It's really cool. Basically, it does what it's. If you're familiar with base elements, which I know is a more common word in the community, feel free to give it a look. It does a lot. It does it a lot for free. It does it very well. We've had a lot of streams on it, so feel free to go give that a download. HOnza himself is part of 24U, and he is known for endlessly hammering FileMaker on performance. I know he's got a ton of tools that he's available to download, Bench Test being the most famous one probably, so feel free to go give that a look. With that all being said, I think I'm going to hand it over now. HOnza and Vince, what are we doing today?
Well,
Yeah.
today we are going to talk about benchmarking layouts. But, when we talk about layouts and benchmarking, I have been doing optimizations of FileMaker solutions for more than a decade. And more often than not, I discovered that even though we have a tool for benchmarking FileMaker scripts called FMBench, very often we discover that the scripts are actually not the slowest thing in the solution when the customers are suffering. So sometimes, typically, we measure a script that goes to a layout and takes just, let's say, 1 second, and then the user has to wait 20 following seconds before they can do something. So I have very often, many times got a question from customers and people going to my sessions at conferences asking, well, how do I find out how long and what takes this time to load the layout? So Vince,
Yes.
how do you find out what's causing layouts to consume so much time to just show
Uh,
some information to the user?
well, I mean, the way I've done it is sometimes things are really slow. I use a combination of things. I use the release debug log to look at the number of calls that are happening. So if a layout has, and I've seen layouts like this that have like thousands of objects. So I take half the objects off the layout, and then I try and see if the really slow part is still happening. And I keep going that way until I find the culprit. Like if it takes 20 seconds to load or 30 seconds to load, um, you know, it's really trying to boil down to the where the main pain point is. And I wish we had tools. I wish we had built-in tools, but we don't. And the next best thing is going to be what you're going to show, which is a little bit of work, but it's going to be exciting to see those under the hood numbers and to really reveal what's going on. You'd be surprised. I mean, when HOnza was telling me like this calculation is being evaluated so many times, it's crazy that once you understand what's going on under the hood, you really start thinking twice about how you architect solutions. So that's the way I do it. But I'm looking forward to you sharing your tools and your techniques on how to do this, HOnza.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you mentioned tools because, I can start perhaps by showing something that we all are hoping for in the future. So this is our website, and something that web developers have had for a long time, in most of the major browsers now is something like this. So I can here you start timeline recording and then just go here and reload the page and go back to this web inspector and let's me reload again. Wait a minute. Why it's not doing anything? So now it's loading the page, and here it's showing in detail what exactly is happening to show me that web page. So I see all the network requests, layout rendering, JavaScript and events, even CPU usage of that single web page. And I can just dive into all these details and see every single item that the page has loaded, and I can examine what's causing the page to take long to load. So when you have a website that takes long time to display the web page, uh, you already have the tools in every major web browser, Chrome, Safari, Edge. All these have these tools to show you what's taking how long to render on that page. And I wish
That
we
would
had
be
that.
that.
I wish
Yeah.
we had that for FileMaker layout, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it would have saved. It would have saved. I mean, it would save me so much time. It would save all of us so much time to try and find those pain points because you would see it visually and instantly. Like, oh, that's the thing that's taking a long time. Let me click on it. Let me expand it. Let me see. Oh, that's a portal. That's a field in a portal. What's the field attached to? It's a value list that's coming from 5 hops away. Okay, bad design, bad choice, or a mistake, whatever. And now I know how where to fix it.
Yeah,
Definitely saves a
exactly.
lot of time. Yep.
So back when FileMaker 12 was released, adding those style sheets or the styles, um,
Yeah.
very quickly people started realizing that there is a huge difference between using and not using named styles. So
Mm.
when there is a custom style applied to each object on layout, uh, there is a lot more data to load from the server to the client just to display that layout. And that's what Vince mentioned with talking about the debug log or the top call stats, where you basically go to that layout when you have the file hosted on a server, and you watch what's happening, what the communication, what communication is happening between FileMaker client and FileMaker server while the layout is loading. Well, this can help if the layout takes really a huge amount of time to load, like 20 seconds. So you have enough time to see what's happening behind the scenes. But sometimes, even though the layout is taking just 1 second to load, it may be annoying, especially if it's a busy solution where you have to do a lot of work, a lot of clicking, and uh, I guess you know that that feeling from the pain when you tap from one field to another and have to wait 2 seconds before you can start typing, right? Have you ever experienced that?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and it's always
So
irritating.
So
I,
sometimes even small amount of time matters a lot. And actually, what I discovered is that what matters is about 400 milliseconds, which is typical eye blink takes between 2 and 400 milliseconds. So normally user normal human when they blink with an eye and something happens in between, it's considered fast. If it takes longer than the eye blink, then you start noticing the slowness or the time. But if it's faster than the eye blink, whatever is happening as a response to a mouse click, it's just considered okay. Uh, and funny enough, the first time I started benchmarking or thinking about what takes long time to render on a layout, My first time was when I was creating a very simple database for home use on Mac Classic. I was actually running FileMaker Pro 4 on the Mac Classic on that small black and white screen, and I had a layout with maybe 50 objects on it. And when I just went to that layout, I literally was watching about 2 seconds how the individual objects were appearing on the layout in a random order. At that time, I discovered there is a huge difference between how I ordered the items on the layout, and when I reordered them, relayered them so that FileMaker was rendering them from the top left to the bottom right. Even the total time to render the layout was shorter because it was kind of more natural for FileMaker to just render all in one go. So that was quite interesting discovery, but that was back then when we had really very simple databases, not thousand objects as we have now, and uh, it was on very slow computers compared to the Apple Silicon Macs now. But let's talk about a little bit how I find out how long it actually takes to render the layout, because that's what benchmarking is about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Measuring how long things take, so that we don't guess, we just measure it exactly. So how would you, Vince, how would you measure how long this simple layout takes to render?
Well, I mean, you probably set a timer in a script. You go to the layout and then have some way to know when the layout is finished loading, and then uh, set another variable to the end time, and then do the difference. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure you're gonna tell
Yeah,
us a way
yeah.
that yeah.
That's already a little bit advanced technique that
Hmm.
I actually found out 8 years ago when I was working on optimization for a client. Until then, I believed, and I was way wrong, that one good method is to just create two calculation fields. So I created a calculation field. This time I can use we can use get current time UTC microseconds. We didn't have that function back then,
Yeah,
uh,
that's right.
but we at least had timestamps. So we could do something like that. So I created these unstored calculations, and I just took them as fields uh, and placed them on the layout. So I took the rendering start and put it in the top left corner. Let me make it red so that I know what it is. Where is that color? Blue. And another one that would be the rendering end, and I'll put it in the bottom right. So here, and now in thanks to having the objects browser, I can now make sure that the rendering starts is in the very bottom in the layer order, and rendering end is the very top, which means that this field should be handled the first, and this should be handled the last.
Because
And
it's
this was,
topmost.
yeah, as
Yeah,
the topmost. So this
from
was
back.
the method I used until almost until 8 years ago. So when I just save this, I get these two numbers, and then I check the value in the other field, which calculates the difference. So rendering duration, I get, wow, interesting.
It's
So it's
you.
negative. So rendering end minus rendering start, negative value. So let me make this anchored to the bottom right,
Hmm.
and let me just refresh. Where's refresh?
It's
Where do
in
we
the
where do we have
it's in
refresh
maybe a
records?
view in the yeah. View the view menu.
Refresh
Oh,
window. Here
there.
it
Yeah,
is.
refresh window. Yeah.
So refresh, and now let's try the data viewer again. Still getting -5. Interesting. Let's put it on the layout in the very top so that we can see it. No, not in this. Okay. And you see, my assumption was wrong. So I even get a negative number, meaning that this field gets calculated before this field.
Interesting. Okay, why would that
So,
be?
well, as we can see, this was a wrong assumption. So let me
But
dive into it in a little more detail. And in order to get more insight, I have created a very simple custom function here. So I'm going to build a log, and every time this custom function is triggered, I will add an entry into the log with the exact timestamp so that I can see what's happening in what order and see how long it takes. And I'll add this add log entry to those two fields. So it will be rendering start. So let me do add log entry, and it will be rendering start field. And I'll add it to this one as well, rendering end field. So when I go to this layout again, I can check the global variable, and I see that those fields were calculated multiple times.
oh,
That's
very
becoming more
interesting.
interesting. So
Yeah.
I have two unsolved calculations, and just by going to that layout, I got them calculated multiple times. Interesting, right? Let me delete
Is
Yes.
that.
yeah.
And I'll just go here and do that refresh. And for the single refresh, I got two values. But now they are in the order. So it seems to be taking about, well, a little bit over what is
Through
400
300. Yeah.
microseconds.
Hmm.
So about half a millisecond between those two fields. But does it mean that it takes half a millisecond to render that layout? So let me create a new layout. I'll just create an empty one based on different table. Okay. So I'm on a different layout, and let me do what Vince said about the script triggers. So let me create a trigger. Uh, and I will again
Set variable. Yeah.
set variable. It doesn't matter what it is. I'll just use that add log entry. And I will add another script, measure layout end, and use the same set variable, but with okay, let's do end and start. It will be easier to understand. And here I will set on timer trigger, sorry, install on timer script to run that other script. as soon as possible. Okay? And then go to that layout that I want to measure. So that's simple layout. So that's it. I have these two
Hold on.
scripts. So the first one script just sets creates first log entry named start. Then it schedules the other script to run as soon as possible, like in less than a millisecond, and then go to the simple layout, and that's it. And what I have figured out, and I will soon show you how I can prove that, the script trigger doesn't start until the layout rendering is completely finished. And that's what I discovered 8 years ago. So since then, I'm using this script trigger technique to measure how long it takes to render a layout, because uh, as soon as the layout is rendered, FileMaker will allow the on-timer script to the script trigger to run, but not anytime sooner. So until the layout is completely finished rendering, no script triggers will run. At least no on-timer script triggers.
About to say, because like,
So
don't you
Oh,
need the script trigger to run for the start, right? Before the
yeah,
rendering begins.
basically that's how the on-timer trigger is implemented. It only runs the script when the FileMaker is idle, when it's finished doing all the jobs in the main thread.
and HOnza, don't you need to also run in the measure layout end script? You need to cancel the timer, otherwise it will run continuously.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it will be running the script trigger forever. So yeah,
Oh,
I need
A little detail there. Just
yes.
yeah,
yeah,
small details, small
But
details.
that's one of the one of the very common funny mistakes, like causing infinite loops in script server-side scripts and things like that.
yeah,
So well, it's actually not fun when you do that, but
yeah.
uh, it's
You
it's
do it
it's
once, you will
yeah,
remember.
exactly.
Yes.
Well, you will remember it, but it will not prevent you from doing that mistake again. Interestingly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But but the next time you do this mistake, you will already know what you have done wrong.
So you won't be panicking and calling your poor server guy, which is what I
Do,
did to
do
mine.
you do you have to all you do is call install script timer, but you don't have to pass it in the name all without no parameters, and it will kill it, right?
Exactly. So
Okay,
if you just
okay.
run install on timers script, and you don't set any parameters, it will just cancel any on timers scripts. So now let me see that log, and again I will clear the log now, and here I will just go to that layout, measure layout start. It will go to that layout and run the script trigger. And now when I look at the log, and let's do some math. So this is the start time, this is the end time, and this is the time between those two fields. So again, in here, the end field, the bottom right field, was calculated before the top left field, interestingly.
Hmm.
But you
And
can see there is a huge time difference, actually, almost 30,000 microseconds, so 30 milliseconds between the start and the moment the first field was actually calculated. And there is another huge time difference, this time actually two 200,000, so 200 milliseconds between the second field was calculated and the layout rendering was finished. So there is a lot happening before the very first unstored calculation gets calculated, and there is a lot happening after the last calculation is evaluated.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you're basically getting the time it takes, but you're not getting the details of all the objects on the layout,
Exactly.
right? Yeah,
So what can we do
yeah.
next? Because we do not have that nice tool that web browsers have.
Too
So
bad.
yeah.
Oh.
So any ideas? What more details can we get to the log? Let
I
me let me make the log a little bit cl more clear. Let's just do the timing relative to the start, okay? So that we don't have to calculate manually. So add log entry, and let's decrement. Let's do uh, start, and let's do now, and let's do that. This is now, and if there is no start, we will collect the start, and otherwise we will just log the difference between start and now. So let's just quickly try that, and yeah, I have to delete this, go to that other layout once again, and now I have times relative to the start, and this is the final total time going to render taking the layout to render. So what else can we add? Wait a minute. It's a little bit weird. Let's delete it again. And let's delete this one. And now measure layout start, and now I should have a meaningful log.
yeah,
Okay, so the
there we go.
start time is 0, and now this is the total time it took to render that layout. About 237 milliseconds. So, what else can we add to the log?
Well, all the objects, right? You want to add all the objects in some way.
Okay. What kind of, because I'm using calculation to generate that log. So what kind of calculation can I add to the layout? I can do something like, let's see,
Conditional formatting.
that's one idea. Great. So let's do conditional formatting. So let me add, and again, add log entry, and let's name it field 1 CF. And let's add another one to the second field. Field 2 CF. And here I have some portal. And in that portal, just to show you, I actually have 40 records in the table. And in the relationships, I just am showing all the other records in the portal. So the
Oh,
portal
okay.
is showing 39 records out of those 40. And I can even have them randomly sorted, which I do. So I have the sort field, which is also unstored calculation, and it's using the random function so that it sorts differently every time I show that layout. So I can have conditional formatting on these fields as well. So let's add it here. Conditional formatting, and let's make it field 1 CF. Okay,
Portal field. Portal field.
Yeah, portal field, but let's also identify the record number from that portal. So let's do related record ID field 1 CF. And for the second one, let's do conditional formatting. And let's change it to field 2. Okay, let me just double check that I changed the calculation here as well. Yes, it's field 2 conditional formatting. So now I have 4 objects with conditional formatting. Let's switch back to this layout. Delete those globals. And run the test. And let's check the global field with log. So that's a lot more data, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So now I see that there is a calculation of the field rendering start. Then there is conditional formatting for the related records. Interestingly, now the rendering end field is calculated. And now the other conditional formattings for the related records. And finally, the conditional formattings for the fields from the current record.
I would not have expected that. I would have thought that the related records would have been last.
So that's an interesting thing. Now, those fields in the portal are also calculated. So maybe I can add the logging capability to the calculations themselves. So each field shows just what field it is. So let's just add it to the log as well. When those fields are actually calculated. So, and now the sort field as well. So let's do this sort field. And we can run the test again.
You want to clear out, yeah.
What I can actually do is I can clear those variables in that script, but not necessarily now. So when I run the test again, go to global variable with the log. So now all this is happening just to show that layout. So it calculates the record 10 field, then it's conditional formatting, record 12 field, conditional formatting, and so on. What seems to be quite interesting, do you see the sort field calculated anywhere?
No.
Is it finishing before the sort field can be rendered? But you said that one script can only run when everything's finished rendering. So
I can even do a refresh. And it still doesn't change the sort order. So, but the portal is sorted. But the sort order doesn't change, even though the sort field is unstored. That's interesting. Maybe it's because it returns
Because
text
yeah.
as a result.
Maybe.
But it should not matter. I would actually expect this to be randomly sorted. And right now, it's not at all.
What if you just add random and add it as a number field to see if
Oh,
it is sorting?
sorry.
Yeah,
This is wrong. I wanted to add log entry.
yeah.
This this was my mistake. Sorry. So now it's randomly
There.
sorted.
Yeah.
There we
Hmm.
go.
So let's start again. Let's reset the start time and go there.
Huh.
Mm,
That's
still not there.
interesting.
Yeah, so for some reason, the sorting seems to be being cached. FileMaker doesn't, even though it's being sorted by unstored calculation,
Hmm.
FileMaker for some reason doesn't feel it needs to recalculate it. When I go to a different record, which triggers
The
you
sorting
see now the sort order is
is
Randomized.
cached. No, well, it's cached on
no,
each
but
record.
it's cached for each record.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it should at least have the sort field
There.
calculated
Yeah.
here. So when I switch to the other record, it then calculated the sort field for all the records.
Oh, even if they don't show. Wow, cool. And that's true because it has to have all the
Yeah,
record IDs to sort it.
it doesn't know which ones will be first, so it needs to
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
them all.
See, this
But
is
you see,
why we need that kind of information without having to do all this extra work. I mean, we should definitely, go knock on Claris's door and say, "Can you give us this Safari debug tool so that we don't have to, scratch our heads and wonder what's going on under the hood?" You know, this would be
exactly.
so invaluable.
So, as you can see, the second record was not calculated because that was the record I was on, and I'm in the portal. I'm showing all the other records because the relationship is based on
Oh,
the ID not equal.
right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you're omitting the second record, and there should be, uh, like, if you were to go to the third record, you'd probably see one, two, and skip three, and then the rest of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what else can you think of adding to get more insight? Well,
How
when
about a hide condition?
height condition, exactly. So I can, for the same field, I have conditional formatting. I can add height conditions. So let's try that. Add log entry, field one height condition on the second, and it
I
returns
think.
empty string, which means it will not hide. Uh, so let's do this one. That will be field two. And let's do the same here. So it will be
Right.
uh, related record height condition and another one.
It's great that you put together this simple example to follow. Otherwise, imagine doing this for 1,000 objects.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
thank you.
at least with the app update tool and the XML, it could be automated a little bit,
No, you don't want to
but
do that.
but
Yeah, you
yeah,
could automate it.
it would be crazy. But let's try now and let's see what we find out. So now all the
Literally,
height conditions for well, not all of them. So interestingly, the first two field height conditions get calculated. Then
Hmm.
One, two, three,
Mm,
four, five, six records. So only the visible ones in the portal.
right,
Not
right.
Oh,
not
okay.
not the one not the ones outside of the current scroll scope. And
Yeah,
then we get the values.
yeah.
What might be interesting because those values don't get calculated until the height conditions are calculated. But what if we reference those fields in the height conditions?
Oh.
That will actually require those fields to be calculated before the height conditions, right?
Well, theoretically.
So yeah. So this is another thing that I can add to the log. What else can you think of?
Well, what about the portal itself? What would you do for the portal? Could
Yes,
you
we
add
can use
some?
even Portal can have well, it doesn't have conditional formatting, but it can have a height condition. So we can use Portal height condition. Yeah, that's another thing. But we have a lot more.
What about buttons?
We have tooltips.
Oh,
But don't tooltips only evaluate when you hover over the object?
Well, I don't know. Do you?
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
So let's find out. So this will be field one tooltip, and here field two tooltip. Okay.
If you're going to do this a lot, I could definitely see a script clearing those variables.
Yes.
All right.
So
So you didn't
let's
hover,
see.
like the important thing is you didn't hover over those fields
Yes, I
because
did.
yeah, okay,
So
good.
let's see if we have a tooltip here somewhere.
I don't see it.
We don't.
I don't either.
And let's try something crazy here.
Oh, you moved your mouse over the
Yeah.
tool to yeah, yeah. You moved your mouse over the fields. Okay, yeah.
Okay, but I
Yeah,
don't
that
get
that
the tooltip
yeah. But
because it's empty. But I should have the.
there,
And now,
there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, oh, wait a
Uh,
minute,
so
wait a minute.
why is there
so
so many?
so hey, Claris, why do I need to calculate the tooltip so many times?
Yeah, yeah, I wonder.
Wait, so that's
I
just one tooltip in one field that I'm seeing 30, 40
That's
Exactly.
times.
no. You know what that is every pixel change of the mouse triggers the tooltip. Am I right, HOnza? Like
I
if
don't
you were
know.
able, yeah, well then
I I don't
we'd have to
know.
get the we'd have to include the coordinates of the mouse.
Oh
Do we have
no.
that calculation?
I don't remember if we do. I don't remember
I
if we
don't
have a
think
get
so.
function. No, we
I don't
don't.
think we have. I don't think we have a get function for mouse coordinates.
That's gonna be another HOnza get
But
function that when I see it, I'll be
but
like, oh, that's why we have one.
But
this is quite interesting because yeah, we really should not be calculating the tooltip so many times.
We have two
And
requests from the audience for things to calculate, by the way. So,
oh, okay.
people would like to see placeholder text and layout
placeholder
calculation.
text, great idea. So let's do where is it?
The last one. The last
The
one. Yeah,
last
that
one,
one. Yeah.
placeholder. So it will be placeholder and field two placeholder. I won't bother with the portal for now.
Yeah. And then
And layout calculation for field label. Okay. So I can do insert field layout calculation.
text it's a text object layout label. Text, not a field one.
Yeah, I said field one label.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I got it.
And here I'll do the same. So field two label, let's do it field two. So let's just make them shorter.
Uh-huh.
So that's another thing I can calculate, definitely. I may just add it to the script. So let's do set variable start and
I think-
log.
Yeah, perfect.
So let's do this and okay, now where do we have those labels?
There's the tooltip 3 times. Wow, that's interesting.
And here's the label.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Oh, I have
I guess the tooltip is the just because I had the mouse
you. Yeah,
in the position of the field. So
probably. Probably. The other interesting thing that I would like for you to answer as well, and that is, I remember speaking to Clay at one point, and at some point the layout rendering changed to the point where, like some of those old techniques that we had, where the furthest most object and the frontmost object no longer are relevant because objects load in their own threads. If you could
mhm.
speak to that and kind of give us some insights there, that would be really really helpful. Like
Yeah, well, honestly, I don't know how some things can be like rendered in parallel. Uh, it would if there is a parallel rendering happening, it would mean that when I try the same test multiple times, I get a different order.
Yeah,
If
well, yeah. Like
as
sorry, just
because if FileMaker spins up multiple threads to render the layout, those threads will not have a consistent way how they run because they're affected by the operating system, things like that. So if it does multiple things at the same time, once the first one will be finished before the second one, and another time the vice versa. So
yeah.
so that just running the same test multiple times and comparing the order of things in the log could reveal whether there is some parallel processing or not.
Yeah, because if you remember, sometimes if you have a portal, I think you get the progress dialog independently, and you will see all the layout objects render except the portal where it's pulling down or streaming down,
Exactly.
data. Yeah,
So the portals actually uh, and it's not everything in the portals, but uh, it was added somewhere around FileMaker 17 or so that
yeah, yeah,
some processing for portals became separate, got separated into its own thread, so that the rest of the layout renders without waiting, and then you just see the indicator in the portal, and the portal loads later. Uh, I do recall that. I just discovered that it's still completely finished before the script trigger, the on-timer script trigger runs, which means that it's still some kind of operation that the FileMaker is waiting before allowing other operations to be
right.
done.
Yeah. I mean, this is
So
incredible. This is incredible. I mean, this is only on a handful of objects. Imagine layouts with thousands
yeah,
of objects.
so as you are coming up with those ideas, what else to add? That reminds me when I actually started promoting the calculation engine performance improvement as an
Mm.
idea. Uh, I started mentioning as an argument that we have calculations everywhere. We just
Hmm.
spotted just a few examples. Another example where we can have calculations, as someone in Discord is mentioning, we also have
Well,
the
you have the
but-
what is it? Those
buttons, button bars.
accessibility calcs that you might have on objects, right? So if you have accessibility,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for like, yeah, that makes
yeah.
Where's that defined?
Where is that? Oh, that's only from the menu. So select an object. So select an object and then go to the I think it's the view menu. Where is it? Formatting, inspectors, and then accessibility there. And
Okay.
there's two calculations, the title and the help.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
I didn't even
I
know this
wasn't
existed.
yeah.
I wasn't aware of these two. So that's still something to add and find out when it gets calculated. Yeah, you're right. So
Yeah,
we can do like field one
accessibility.
title
Yeah, yeah,
and help.
yeah. I, yeah, I think you could leave the object there, and then you could also see it again when you
Uh,
click on another field.
yeah, let's try
Yeah,
just
but
this.
let's
And
yeah,
if we get that somewhere.
accessibility. Oh, that's interesting.
So maybe it doesn't get evaluated until I have some like accessibility options enabled
Yeah,
on the OS.
yeah, maybe.
But
Yeah,
there is a lot more. There's a lot more. We have custom menus. We have conditional record level privileges if we are not a full access user.
Oh, I didn't really.
well,
Uh, we have layout triggers. So when
yeah,
you
yeah. Like the
so when you
parameters
go
on
So when you go
not
to layout settings, there are
yeah,
script triggers for record load, on record commit, on layout enter, layout exit, all these things. And every script trigger not only runs a script, but you can pass a parameter to the script.
that's right. And not only
So
that, but then you have
so so
objects.
So it's also interesting to figure out when the parameter is actually calculated because people may make mistake in expectations on when the calculation gets evaluated for the script trigger.
Yeah.
So is it calculated when the script is triggered or when sorry there is one. Oh, on timer trigger. That can have a script parameter. So when is the parameter for on timer trigger calculated? When you install the on timer or when the script runs?
Well, you would assume that you pass it a parameter. So whatever parameters you passed in are the parameters that it received so that when it runs, and if you say get script parameter, you would have those parameters that it was sent to the
Yeah.
on timer. Yeah,
But the truth is that it only remembers the calculation and it defers the evaluation of it until the script trigger runs.
no way.
And there are
That's
many different things you can reveal with this logging mechanism. So I will like fast forward to what I have actually created, so and shared as a example file. So I created this little bit more crazy layout.
Woo.
oh no. I okay.
So so here in this layout, I have everything twice. I have fields, I have layout calculation, I have a button bar. That button bar has two buttons. It actually has no, I thought it had three
Two.
buttons and one was hidden, but
Hmm.
maybe it's older version of the example. And every object that can have a height condition has a height condition. Every object that can have conditional formatting has conditional formatting, and it actually has two conditional formattings just to show
Oh,
that both of them get evaluated even though one is true, or doesn't matter which one is true, all of them get calculated. So this is just to show that. Then I have tab control with two tabs. In the tab, I have another layout calculation, which represents the contents of the tab. You want to say
HOnza?
something? Yes.
Yeah. What if you had like so you have two groups of objects. What if the second group was off screen, like in the gray area? Like
Oh.
how many of those things? Oh.
Well, well,
Well,
well.
that's
I actually have this as a repository for JavaScript, but
yeah.
I can attach on height condition to it as well to find out. So where is that?
Scroll down. Oh no,
Uh,
it's on the fourth object. It's the layout inspector. It's the
which one?
fourth layout object. Yeah, that one. Okay. And it's a little bit further up, right
Here.
there. Oh,
Uh, and I'm actually using a different calculation layout benchmark add. So let's see.
oh, Margaret, we have to have a follow-up discussion on this.
This is been one of my favorite streams in the last month. This is fascinating.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
so
this
so
is
I have added
crazy.
that, and by the way, I have the JavaScript for a specific purpose because in addition to having those two portals, by the way, these two portals are defined to show different sets of records. So as you saw, I have 40 records. So this one is showing just da, da, da,
Yeah, and
by
you have a
filter. This
filter.
is this is using filter to show just records from 2 to 20, and the other one is showing records from 21 to 40. So no record should be shown in both portals. So every record contents whatever should be only calculated once. And then I also have web viewers here. And in those web viewers, I actually have a JavaScript that also calculates exact timestamp and then triggers a script which adds those timestamps into the log so that I also find out when the web viewer is loaded, when the JavaScript in the web viewer starts, and when the JavaScript in the web viewer becomes able to run FileMaker scripts, because that's also something that's delayed. When you render a web page in a web viewer, FileMaker inserts a special function, special method there, FileMaker perform script and FileMaker perform script with option, but it happens with a delay. So if you use this function immediately, it will fail. So you have to wait until this function is available before triggering scripts from JavaScript. So I'm also measuring this and logging that. And then I have this manually pressed button to stop the benchmarking. And in order to have accurate log, I used a slightly more complicated custom function, which basically only adds entries to the log if there is no stop entry in the end. So with that manual stop button, I am actually adding a stop entry to the end of the log, which stops the logging completely. So it disables further logging until I start it again.
Oh, okay.
And I do one more thing. I'm also calculating a simple counter. So every time the calculation is triggered, I increase the counter. So it also tells me how many times the calculation engine was actually triggered. And to calculate really everything possible, I also added these record level privileges.
Oh my God.
And I'm also looking when FileMaker calculates the view, edit, or delete privilege. But in order to be able to have that in the log as well, I have to relog in as a regular user because full access user bypasses the record level privileges. So in order to do that, I have created a script which is slightly different. And before actually going to that layout, I relog in as a regular user, then install on timer, go to that target layout, and then the button to stop the benchmarkings goes back to the original layout and relogs in back as a full access. So I'm now going to switch to the start layout.
And have the viewers tune in next week for the amazing conclusion. I'm sorry,
So-
but I have to go, HOnza. I am looking forward to seeing the result of this meeting, but I really enjoyed this very, very much. But like I said, Margaret, I look forward to
Yes,
more
I will let you
meeting of
know when
this.
yes, absolutely. Happy
Okay.
Okay,
birthday and have a good
Vince,
one.
Thanks.
Vince, you have already seen this, so thanks for being part of this. You have already seen the results, so you know what I'm
Yep.
going to show. And by the way, enjoy your birthday.
Thank you so much, HOnza. Bye, everyone. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
And just before we say goodbye, let me run this test script once
So we can see what it looks like.
and press this button. And
Woo!
here is the final log. So
Does this
the
log
first,
stay pretty consistent or does it change between every version?
it's actually pretty consistent.
Really? Okay.
And by the way, guess this counter. What is the total number of times the calculation engine was triggered on this single layout?
115. Huh? I was
So
so off. I was so off. Whew.
any more? Any more
Uh,
guesses?
823.
So the total number is, it's almost in the end,
631.
631.
Holy crap.
And as you can see, here's when the on-timer trigger started. And these are the only actions that happened after starting the on-timer trigger.
Okay.
So only the web viewer JavaScript was actually triggered after the on-timer trigger. Everything else happened before. So this is my proof, which I mentioned that I'm going to show, that using that on-timer trigger is really the right method, at least as of now, how to measure the total time it takes to render the layout. And you can also see some red entries here. So the way I'm formatting it is when the same entry appears more than once, I'm showing it the subsequent repetitions as red. So this record to view privilege was already calculated before.
Mm-hmm. It was
And
calculated several times.
then I have a post-processing calculation, which also tells me how many times. So here I have a list of redundant evaluations.
Woo! Interesting.
And
Okay, so
I,
view privileges are heavy taxes on whatever
and
layout
I
you're
don't
doing.
even have those tooltips there.
Oh, you don't have any tooltips?
So I'm going to after our session, I'm going to update my example to add the tooltips and placeholders as well. I may actually have placeholders, not sure, but I definitely don't have the tooltips there. So I'm going to add the tooltips because that's going to be even more crazy.
Someone wanted to know, is there a popover on this?
Popover, no. But anyone can download the example and modify it. So
And add their own
I'll
stuff to it, yeah.
I'll just give you just the link to share, or I can share it in Discord, and you can copy it to the other sources. And just to wrap up, I have one great news. I mentioned
Yes.
that I was trying to push for a calculation engine to be much faster. And on the Claris community, about 5 years ago, I posted the idea. And so with this initiative, I called Initiative 24, I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to collect votes for the idea to make it the number one idea. And finally, a few weeks ago, we finally reached the goal. Now it's exceeded. So
Woo!
the target is exceeded. So when you go to Claris Community Ideas, and there you just select top all time, you see that the significantly faster calculation engine is now number one.
There you go.
So right now, the next step obviously is to try to not only convince but also help Claris, because we all want that to happen, to actually make the calculation engine faster. And the first person who already contributed is Christian Schmitz, who suggested 12 specific ways how he can envision making the calculation engine faster from the programming perspective.
Good old
Uh,
Christian.
I'm
Yep.
I'm sure more ideas are going to come, and to convince Claris that this is going to be really valuable for everyone, I started collecting specific use cases. So if you can think of specific use case in your solution or your client solution where significantly faster calculation engine would have a huge impact, please let me know so that I add it to my collection and I can use that as another measure or benchmark where after this is finally achieved, we can show that the impact was really valuable.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Hans. This is going to go into one of my favorite sessions you've done, I think. I have a couple that I have like saved mentally. Like I bring up the calculation session you did all the time. This has been awesome. People are saying this is very interesting. So thank you and Vince for coming out and doing this.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
yes. And like I said, feel free to send Hans those use cases. Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a good one. I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.